Hey everyone, this is Rohan from Foreign Digital again. Just wanted to do a quick video here talking about what can you do with all the leads that are generated from different marketing sources, right? So I was discussing with one of my prospects earlier this afternoon, and it kind of occurred to me that there is a genius way in which how you can have all the leads come in and you practically don't have to do a lot of things, right? So you can run a Facebook campaign for about 300, 400, 500, $600 a month, whatever is your budget that you want to do, and have all of these people come in and just find a way to automate and create an MLS search, right? Here's what I'm talking about. Give me a few minutes. I'm going to share my screen and kind of walk you through what my process, the thought process is, and I'll share it with you guys. So what we have here is I'm going to do a lot of drawing in boxes that you will see here. So you have a lot of leads that are generated. You can have leads generated in multiple different fashions, multiple different sources, but for our use case, let's say these are from Facebook ads. Okay, so once you have these leads generated from Facebook ads, what do you do with them? There are a bunch of ways. If you have seen my other videos, I talked to you about how to leverage the Facebook ads that come in. How do you put them in a CRM? How do you put them in a pipeline? And how do you have an ISA kind of a person team go in and talk to all these leads and convert them eventually to see if they're qualified, if they're not qualified, and things like that. But there's a different way to do it, right? So once you have these leads come in, what you can essentially do is try to reach them and see if they are able to connect with you. But most of the leads that come in through Facebook ads are probably not ready to purchase for the next 2 to 3 months, right? What you could do then is you could have these leads directly go into an MLS search. So what I mean by that is you can have these leads from Facebook ads answer few simple questions. Some of the questions that you want them to answer are, I've written down here. It's like you want to understand what is the location that they're looking for, what zip codes, what area. You could have a simple question in your form, in the lead form ad, in the Facebook or in a survey, and they can fill out like an address, like a locality or a neighborhood or a zip code. So get the location from them and ask them what is the price range. Let them enter the price range, do a plus or minus 15, 20% with their price range, and then get number of bedrooms, number of bath, and any additional features that they're looking for, right? So once you have these basic elements from them, you can kind of have an assistant or yourself go in and set up an MLS search for them. So the next step is to basically set up an MLS search. So it's as simple as that. So you can get for about $300 to $500 a month, you can get about 100 leads. Granted, not a lot of people are going to be qualified. They're all going to be junk, but you are building a pipeline. This is a pipeline that you will build. And eventually you don't have to do anything other than spending that $300 to $500 a month and having an assistant or yourself go and set up an MLS search, right? So the beauty of this MLS search is you don't have to do anything. It automatically sends out emails to the leads that are coming in once a week or whenever there is an update based on the criteria that they have. Now, what you're doing here is basically you're sending a customized, right, list of homes. So it's basically a customized list of homes that they are getting with your name, with your brand once a week. And you don't have to do anything after that. So they are getting all the information that they need. They are constantly on the lookout for a list of homes that fit their criteria. They could be 3 months out, they could be 6 months out. You don't have to lift a finger in terms of constantly branding yourself. That's huge. So what I would do after that is kind of start monitoring them. And what I mean by that is, So you have your leads go in, and when you send a customized list of homes to them, they have to click on the MLS link and it activates the search. So monitor what is your percentage of activation. It could be 40%, it could be 50%, 80%, whatever that number is. See how many people are actually activating that search. The more people you send to, the more times you send to, the higher the activation rate is going to be. So when they click on the activation, that means they kind of like the subject line. They are curious about the list of homes with the characteristics that you have sent. And you essentially now are monitoring their activity. So what I mean by that is now you are trying to see what houses they are viewing and what are they clicking on and what kind of saves they have, heart, like you understand, sharing and saving and favoriting and things like that. So what are they doing with within the MLS search? You get information, you get activity for every single lead. So now you know for every single lead that you have sent, you have generated here in Facebook, you see that there are a lot of people who are engaging, who are making activities, and you don't even have to reach out to all these people if you don't want to. So only reach out to people who are viewing and clicking and saving, and you can have a system wherein you don't reach out to them till they log in for about 5 different times and are looking at same property again and again and again. And you can look at frequency and things like that. You can have your own system around it. But um, the next step, of course, is to follow up with them. So once a trigger is set, let's say you want to set a trigger on when somebody saves a property and then revisits them again, you can set a trigger and then that'll be notified to you. And then you can go and call them. You can reach out to them because you have their name, email, and phone number. And you can reach out to them and you can say, hey, I'm just following up. You inquired about a list of homes and you have been looking at my MLS because you send out the emails every week and then it's branded to you and they see your face, they see your name and etc. So you're just following up, whatever, when triggered or on rules. So you can set it up. So once you have these triggers, when you're following up with them, now you know that you're actually talking to people who are engaging with the MLS listings. This is the same thing that Zillow does. This is the same thing that Realtor.com does. And when a lot of people are on a particular site, they want to talk to a listing agent of a particular listing on Zillow, and it reroutes to some random agent and it's not even a listing agent. But here, you know that they have favorited a house and you can reach out and say, hey, I see that you're looking at a property 123 Market Street. I can reach out to a listing agent and get you more information about it if this is what you want. And looks like that's a 3-bed, 2-bath with 2-car garage. And is that what your preference is and things like that? Now you know that now you have somebody who is more engaged. You understand their preferences. You can get more information about that and you can get that conversation going. And it's very, very soft sale. This is you coming across as not a person, not a real estate agent who wants to make money off of the transaction, but this is you coming across as a person who understands their needs first, who wants to go out and help and find a property that they want. And sometimes, a lot of times, what happens is you don't even need to follow up, right? They call you when they are ready. They call you. They have your phone number, they have your email in all the messages that they send. So they call you when they're ready. So you practically will not have to do anything in any of these places if you can set up a Facebook ad once and leave it at that. Maybe modify the creatives once every 2 or 3 weeks, once a month, and that's pretty much it. Bring in new leads, bring in new homes, bring in new creatives, and then have somebody or yourself do an MLS search as soon as a lead comes in, and then you keep monitoring activities. And like if you don't want to lift a finger, they will start calling you. And by spending about $300 to $500 a month, you are practically looking at good 5 to 10 calls coming to you who absolutely are completely engaged with the content. And if you don't go in with, if you don't go in salesy, if you don't try to sell and just be there trying to help them, that's going to convert into a lot of buying and listing opportunities for you in the future. I hope this was helpful. This was a quick video that I wanted to make because based on the idea that I got from one of the client that I was talking to, he does this on a regular basis for his referrals. He does not do it for a lead generation using Facebook ads, but now I'm working with him to set up something like this for him. And there is going to be a lot of inorganic people and his conversion rate is going to go down, but he's getting a lot of leads at a much, much cheaper price. So his eventual numbers are going to go up. So this is something that you could potentially do. A lot of people, a lot of newer agents, if they don't know how to get more leads, this is something that you can set up a pipeline, which is completely on an automated pipeline that you don't have to do a lot of work. Hope that was helpful.